Today's video, we're going to talk about neighborhood advertising that crushes it. See my two-step process for doing this repeatedly every time for any kind of business, local service, local product business, where you're going to be targeting a small street, grouping of streets, neighborhood, literally speaking, like the title of this video says. So you can sell to them profitably with online advertising as well as door knocking, which is part of the so-called two-step process here. Because anything that you will do to raise your profile online will make it 10 times easier to sell to somebody in person when you actually knock on their door, which is what I'm going to talk about in today's video. By itself, online advertising to a specific neighborhood can work very, very well. But when you combine it with the physical component, reaching out to people, it works so much better. You can decide what you want to do, but I will go through different case studies of where we did this in the past, what our cost per lead was running these ads to a certain select neighborhood, and then what you can make following up with the door knocking campaign that should come after it, so to say. Regardless if you're selling, in-home water filtration equipment, whether you're selling end-of-life planning, I'm going to go through how you can do this on a localized level, hyper-targeting certain neighborhoods where you want to actually go into and dominate and do it profitably and sustainably for your business. So with that said, I'll get into the content, but before I do, I want to let you know who I am. I am Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in running online ads and managing them for our clients at our firm, and actually guarantees the results upfront on their campaigns before taking any management fees from our clients. That is a certain minimum lift in profitability from their ads upfront, to a certain minimum level of profitability on a new campaign that we set up for them from scratch. We're able to do this because I myself am the one doing all the key strategy on the accounts and have 20 years of online advertising experience in order to deliver such an offer to our clients, of which nobody else on the planet has the guts to offer that or similar offer to their clients at any other advertising firm. So with that said, I will go into detail what this process is, this two-step process that we use to sell localized products and services to people within certain select neighborhoods. With that said, basically what you want to do, so the advantage you get by doing so-called neighborhood marketing is you can saturate a certain neighborhood with messaging. Just absolutely blanket and slam people in a 2 or 3 or 4 street section of the city or radius of 1 kilometer, and because people have literally seen you everywhere, people will want to do what you have to offer, take what you have to offer, just because they want to know what the hell it's damn about. With that said, you can do this by just advertising as many places as you can online, and because they saw your offer consistently for like the last how many years, if you will, eventually they're going to cave. With that, you can set up a offline marketing campaign where you're reaching out to these people, and because they all know who you are, they're going to be hyper responsive into listening to your pitch when you show up at their doorstep one day, which you can sell like solar services, anything like this. Once people know who you are, they're receptive to hearing what you have to say, whereas then you knock on some random dude's door and they don't know who the hell you are. Nobody wants to listen to what you have to say. I mean, you can make things work if you're a super slick salesperson, but it ain't nothing like they already know who you are. Where they'll be like, hey, I know who you are. And then you can actually get into a sales pitch right away. It's actually very amazing how well this can work in terms of a follow-up with, once you've done the footwork up front, marketing to hell to these people before you show up at their doorstep. So with that said, how do you advertise to everybody online first to get that kind of awareness in a certain small localized neighborhood so that you can walk into it and start knocking them dead right away? Well, you can do this, create this awareness through, I would do a combination if you're going to do this on your own like we have before. Everyday direct mail. Sending postcards out to an entire neighborhood is super cheap. We're talking about like 25 cents. Actually, I don't know the current market rate, but it's around 25 cents per piece. You can blanket an entire neighborhood with a postcard. You can do that, and what I would recommend you do, and the part of the reason why you do this is you can, once you've got, should I say, the system set up, you don't stop. You keep doing it, and each subsequent card they get, more response you're going to get, practically speaking, because there's more and more awareness of who you are, and they've seen this offer before. If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google the power of sevens in marketing. The power in sevens in marketing says you will make more money advertising to fewer people more times than you will be to marketing to more people only once. The average marketer thinks that they should spend all their budget on advertising to more people. Advertising to fewer people with this neighborhood method, what really works, and then just staying with them until they eventually respond, actually works really, really well, because eventually after seeing a message enough times, they're going to want to jump on it if it's a good offer and it isn't just that they legitimately wouldn't see good value on. So the offer is very, very important. This won't work if you don't have a great offer that you want an offer so good, somebody sees it and they say, damn, I am very happy or very glad that I seen this. That's what you want. And if your offer isn't that good yet, make it that good. Otherwise, you're just making everything unnecessarily hard on yourself to sell what you have to sell. The offer, what you have, makes what you sell interesting. Makes it so that if somebody does see an ad from you, they actually want to jump on it right away versus saying, that's interesting, who cares? Everyday direct mail, you take that with combining it with YouTube ads. You can run video ads to people in the neighborhood. If they're on YouTube, they're going to see your video ad while they're watching other videos on YouTube. You can do a demand gen campaign in conjunction with that, which gets you ads running on Gmail basically. So if they check their email, they're going to see your ad at the top of their email. You can also do Facebook ads. So if they're on Facebook, they see your ad there. You can do Google display campaigns. So you run banner ads on different websites. So if they go to a news website or weather.com or CNN.com or whatever, they're going to see your banner ad there as well. And the idea behind all this is all the messaging, offer, branding, all of it stays consistent regardless of where you show up here. There's a very important concept in marketing that a lot of people don't get, which is every single ad somebody sees from you should have the same look and feel of it. Each ad that they see, while it might be in a different channel that they saw the last ad of yours, it builds on what you've already built with that user from the previous ads that they saw. That means literally the color scheme being the same each time, the fonts, those are very important things, so that when they see an ad from you, they remember the previous ad that they saw, and because they saw the previous ad, they're more likely to respond to this ad. You need this going for you in order for the system to really work for you and for your benefit. So you run all these ads and you come up with a really good offer, and the offer is on the ad, and you state it in simple terms. So if you're selling home water filtration systems, you're going to then pitch a in-home free water test. You make it simple. You put on your banner ad, literally, don't get fancy with it, in-home water test in the name of your neighborhood. You're going to say that same thing in a verbal way on your YouTube ad. You're going to put the same thing on your everyday direct mail piece, and you keep running it. Take whatever budget that you have to afford to spend, whether that be $10 a day, $50 a day, anything that you know that you could spend it for the next 3 years. Even if this campaign did not produce a single dollar of revenue for you, you could keep it going regardless. Don't put the pressure on you that it has to work, otherwise you're not going to be able to run the ads anymore. Because this can take a while for it to work, given, like I was saying just a minute ago, somebody needs to see the ad more than once in order for it to really have an effect on them, even if the offer is good. Some people will absolutely respond right away the first time they see your ad. It's just more people will respond the second time they see it, even more the third, and that goes and it builds up over time. And this can't be rushed. You can't hit them with the ad 50 times in one day and get all that done. You want them to see the ad, and then a few days later see another ad, and then a week later see another ad, and then over the course of the next 18 months, they're like, damn, I've seen this so many times. I might as well just jump on this. I liked it. I knew I liked it the second time I saw it, and the third time I saw it. I've seen it 20 times. This must be decent. I'm going to jump on it. That is kind of like the first part of the plan. Now, the offer is going to make or break this. If you do not have the right offer and it's not exciting enough, you're completely wasting your time. This is not going to work for you. You're going to have an offer that sends people to the landing page where that's all is offered. You can't do a free water test offer if you sell a water filtration product, in-home water filtration system, if you will, and send people to your homepage. It's not going to work. You have the offer on it, and then the landing page has nothing but that offer, and it's just a little opt-in, And you take that opt-in and you do an in-home consultation presentation and you sell to them on the spot. That's the $1 million method right there for selling to people in a localized neighborhood. If you obviously can have the ability to go to their place and you want that, because it's so much more efficient. What you can do to sell to someone in person versus, you could also do this through Zoom, but it's just not nearly going to be the same as getting in front of them. What you're going to do, by the way, is you're going to put your face, the person that is going to be in touch with them to do the sales pitch, that person's face should be on every single one of these pitches. The YouTube video that you run, the video ad, should be the person that's going to be doing the selling later, literally speaking, so that when they get to the sales pitch, they think they know you. They think you're a local celebrity in the neighborhood. You're a celebrity, and with that, by the way, if you're targeting XYZ neighborhood, you should say, hey, I'm Jake from XYZ neighborhood. You're seeing this video from me right now because there's actually really bad water problems in our neighborhood, and enough so that you really should get your water tested. I have a water company. We're offering free testing. If you want to see how your water stands up, if it has the problems with the lead in it, as people in the area have had, you'll know about it. It doesn't cost you anything. We're not going to pressure you to buy anything. If you take this test, just go ahead and get the test. I highly recommend you do it. 10+% of people in the area has had problems with lead. I highly encourage you get this test. It really could be a significant issue on your health if you did not take this. That's the general pitch that we did, home water filtration system business, in order to generate the leads. It obviously taps into fear, and you may not be comfortable with that, but stuff that actually gets people to move, it scares them, makes them greedy. This is, you gotta be able to appeal to people's emotions. Get them emotionally invested. Once they're emotionally invested, if it's not even what you're selling isn't logical, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be logical once they're emotionally invested. You got to appeal to emotion first, logic second, because that's how people make decisions to do things. The face of the person doing the sales pitch is on all the material. And with that, you're going to have to then come up with an offer that's going to actually get people to want to do your thing. If you have a long lifetime value type of business where, like cleaning services, you are going to sell to that person for a while, the simple offer that always is going to work is you do use a free offer. That is first cleaning free or first cleaning 80% off or whatever. And for some businesses that's not necessarily the right move there because it's going to get a bunch of freeloaders. That said, in that case, all you do is instead of free, you make it 50% off, and you find a sweet spot in there where they're paying enough to where if they didn't legitimately want that thing, they wouldn't have paid even 50%. But then it gets rid of the people who would have never paid for any of that service at all because it's free, if you will, if you get what I'm saying. But the key thing is you can't be too cheap. You can't be like, well, I'm only going to offer 20% off because I'm not going to be working for no money. Because if you make the offer, then nobody's going to respond to your ad and you're not going to make anything. So your goal is to offer enough to get them to reply at a decent enough rate to where you offer more than that. It's going to get people who are not people who normally would want to part with their money for the product or services that you offer. If that makes sense. Yeah, like a one-off type of business where people either they buy from you once and then they're done. In that situation, you want a free ancillary gift. When I'm talking about in terms of free ancillary gift, we're talking about like in the home water filtration system business, we offered the water test. I already talked about this. Your ads are all going to build off one another. If you're doing funeral planning, okay, what we did in that space that was very successful, still doing, is funeral planning consultation. We offer an in-home consultation. We targeted, by the way, 65 plus with this. So you can filter your ads to only run to the exact demographic you want. Age, gender. It could also be interest level, like people that just want and like to buy luxury vacation packages or whatever. You could, with these ad platforms, beauty of them is you can narrow it down like that with Google, with Facebook. Anyway, with that, the in-home consultation doesn't seem like that great of an offer, but when nobody else in the area offers that, and old people are thinking about or have thought about, generally speaking, at one time or another, buying a funeral plot or whatever, and you offer to come into their house for free to give them this information in person, ask them questions, it's actually a quite useful offer, and it does make sense when you think about it from that perspective. You don't necessarily have to go the or XYZ% off or whatever, which is something we toyed with. There's more value in just offering customer service. Most places aren't going to do anything. Yeah, if you come in, you can get some advice about that. But actually to have somebody come, so you don't have to have your ass leave the couch and have it come directly brought to you. And for older people, they don't like to do stuff online too much anyway. That's what you can get done, and that was what was successful. There's a company that we had that gets people, their offer is to get you to switch utility providers, and by doing that, the reason why people would switch is to save money. We would have an ad that actually says, save money on your utilities guaranteed. Fill out this form to find out how. We also did this for people that were trying to get them to switch the internet service providers. You want to save money on your internet bill, fill out this form to find out how on a guaranteed basis. Took those leads, worked them. So with that said, that gives you some general idea of offers that have worked in the past, to know what level of offer that you're going to need to make this pay for itself, because every single person that your ad gets in front of it costs you money. If your offer is weak, all that you're going to do is run up the amount of ad cost it costs to get a lead. Usually it won't come out ahead. Put more into the offer, you'll get a higher response, and now you're paying much less ad cost to get a lead than you would if your offer was crappier. Naturally, we can only offer so much on the offer, but you should be on the side of offering too much on the offer than not enough. As per what we've normally found, your offer should be so good, honestly, that your competitor sees it and they're like, I don't want to copy that. Because now that tells you you've got an actual good one, or they say, oh, I don't know how they offer that or why they offer that. And you also got somebody who isn't going to rip off your strategy once you got it going and it's making good money. Then, once you've got all that, then you do your step 2, your final door knocking campaign. I can tell you for a fact, you do any door knocking campaign that can actually work now. You have your offer that you run in your door knocking campaign, free water test, whatever. That you run this campaign first to the people that you're going to go door knocking to, it'll work 10 times more doing the door knocking after you've ran these ads for a few months than it will by itself. We know this for a fact to the water testing campaign that we ran. Water tests, extremely high response. If the person that we had that was on all the ads, get the person to answer the door, they could get the in-home water test and offer it to them roughly 20% of the time. They would say yes to the test. And then of the people who got the test, you sell to them about 10% of the time. It'll get more people to actually initially engage with you, and it'll get more people to actually say yes, given that you're going to seem less of a risk to say yes to. The water test offer gets 10% of people to buy that get the test, because the test is always going to fail naturally. That's just how that works. And once it fails, then of course, once you have a financing plan and you take care of the fact that everybody can afford this now because it's going to be $19 a month, it's a very easy sell. You could actually, if you want a business idea, that's a great business idea. You could run with that in and itself. Or you could get into selling internet packages, because these internet companies will usually have an affiliate program and you could sell that way. Anyway, but the idea is you run this, you get as much from it as you can, then you go in and you get the serious sales where the door knocking campaign comes in and you double, triple your money that you're making. It all comes as just an extra that the online campaign makes whatever it makes, and then it makes a lot more once you figure that all these people that you're going to door knock to are already pre-sold by the time you get there. So you can almost think of the sales you get through step 2 as a way to finance the ads that are running in step 1. And the step 1 ads might break even. You go in to send a salesperson in to close the deals in person that didn't respond to the ad necessarily, and that's where the money is, if you will. And frankly, what you're going to do in order to make this work is all your ads are going to have that, as I mentioned before, if you're the person doing the in-person sale, who's doing the sales pitch or door knocking afterwards, if they did not respond to the initial online ads you're running / everyday direct mail ad that you're running, if you don't want to do the in-person sales anymore, or you get too busy, well, then you just rebrand all the ads with somebody else's picture on there, with somebody else's face on the video, and then you run it in another neighborhood and you send them in to do the door knocking after. And this is an actual scalable strategy that you could scale across the city then. Once you find out it works for one neighborhood, you should be jumping up and down for joy, because it's probably going to work in another 50 neighborhoods across the city. Not in every neighborhood, because each one is going to convert a little bit better, certainly based upon income demographics mainly. But you get the general idea of what I'm trying to say here. the hardest part of all this is figuring out an offer that's going to work, that's going to be exciting enough and that you can afford to offer. And once you know what that is, you just blast it out there in every way possible to that neighborhood, and you just go in there and you sell, and you're done. So really, it's just, can you find an offer that works? I gave you 3 working offers here. You literally could start a business around what I just offered to you there, and you'd be off to the races. You can offer that right away. You've got something. Hopefully, it's enough information to come up with your own offer for your own business, and given that you're probably not looking to switch businesses, but it gives you an idea how simple this actually is, and by seeing actual examples of it working elsewhere. If you don't know how to put together an offer, which is the hardest part of all this, as I mentioned, reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I will be happy to have a discussion with you about what offer we could use, what the numbers would be, offer a guarantee of results and so forth like we do at our agency, and see if we can work together. As long as you got something that's decent that we know we can sink our teeth into and do well with, we're willing to work with you as a client. Also, by the way, we sell ad templates. If you want to just get the campaign template that we've already ran for your niche market already, or for your product or service that you're selling, you could just outright buy that template from us and copy paste all that into your own ad accounts and install it in your business and have it working already. We worked in over 100 different niche markets in the last 10 years of running this advertising firm at Guaranteed PPC. So the chances are quite high we've already got all the stuff that you need here and don't have to reinvent anything. You just install it in your business and you're done already. Or if you're trying to start a new business, you can use a template to sell an item or service that we've already generated results for. And you don't have to wonder if it will work or not, because we've already ran the ads and we know what the ROI is. We can tell you the ROI with it up front. There's no risk per se to it if you can just follow the instructions. So anyway, if you're interested in any of those things, you can also reach out, or those templates, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about it. If you have any questions about anything that I covered here so far, you can also leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or a comment on this channel, typically within like 24 hours time. Going back to what I was mentioning before, this is a very simple system, and even if you aren't an ad expert, you can get this done, and just with the information that I gave you, and probably do well with it and at least break even. If you want to know how to really bring out the maximum results from this, and know every sales meeting you go to is going to have it'll be the highest productive use of your time and money, if you will, money you have to invest in ad spend, well, then you need to subscribe to this channel, because I go into detail on how to run ads in each one of these platforms the best way possible, the way that we use to guarantee results for our clients at our firm. So you should subscribe to this channel. And the information's actually that good because, I do nothing but ad testing at our advertising firm 40 hours a week. It's my sole job. And everything that works and doesn't work that you need to know, I give you for free on this channel. Most of the other bozos that give you advice about how to make money with ads on YouTube and elsewhere don't actually run any ads. They're trying to sell you a course. They don't know anything. You got to be able to run ads like I do just to know how to be able to advise you, like, does stuff work 10% of the time, 20, whatever. And to go along with that, if you like the video content, you should also be checking out my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog literally has step-by-step instructions to install certain strategies we use to guarantee results at our firm into your own ad accounts and into your business and get the same results that we're getting for our clients as well. It has the screenshots, everything you need to be able to use this stuff. So if you're serious about making money online for your business and having a sales funnel that will work, that will certainly put you on the right track as well. With all that said, this, as you see, is not that simple. You're just putting together an offer. You're advertising and getting it in front of a neighborhood that you want to sell to. Then you're coming in later and saying, hey, I'm Jim. You probably seen me online. I'm, about the water testing problem issue that is occurring in this area. I'm here in case, I was in the neighborhood already anyway. I can give you this test since I'm here. Test is free, and come in and clean up like that with an offer like that. Or I was already in the area already. We have we're offering the free information about the funeral planning. If you have 15 minutes, I'll show you, what the options are. If you were wondering what the prices are for plots and headstones and stuff like that, I can tell you and show you what that is. You clean up, you can easily get for the funeral planning 10+% of people to say yes once you actually get them to agree to a pitch. In the funeral home that we work with, they were closing like 25% in that scenario. And just to give you a general idea of how profitable it is as well, cost per lead wise on the Facebook campaign, we're looking at about $25 a lead. So you're talking about $100 to $150 acquisition cost on a prepaid funeral package, which goes into the $1,000 to $3,000 range. Very, very good returns. You have to have a good sales system, good salespeople following a good scripted process in order to get those kind of closing rates on those type of leads. There's no secret about it. You just free in-home consultation, salesperson goes there, pitches. With that, that is one of the case studies I wanted to share with you, explain just how profitable this methodology is. To go along with it, to sum this up as well, the water test, it obviously helps to do this with a lifetime value of a customer that you can expect once you sell somebody of thousands versus hundreds, because the ad cost, regardless if you're selling a $10 item or a $1,000 item, for the water testing stuff, you're talking about $20 per lead, and you're going to close easily 5-10% of those leads. So you're talking about $200, $300, $400 acquisition, whole house system, you're talking $5,000 plus. Again, 10 to 1 or greater return. Utility switching company, where I mentioned that we would run an offer online to see how you can guaranteed lower your utility costs, form, and then do an in-person pitch, which that kind of thing, you actually could do that pitch over Zoom just as easily, but it was in person. $35 a lead for the campaign we were running online for that. Closing rates on that, you're talking 5-10%. The commission on that is like a couple $1,000 once the actual utility company and the affiliate that works to help get that offer out there to people, that the company that we were working with to facilitate that exchange of the actual fee or revenue that the utility company was giving out to the promoters, if you will. The internet companies are the same way. You don't usually deal with them directly, but you get through an affiliate. Otherwise, you can actually set up a dealer account with an internet service provider. But a lot of people that do that also just go through affiliates if they're just purebred marketer. Anyway, that gives you a general idea of how profitable this stuff actually is. If you have any questions, like I said, leave me a comment in the comment section. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually right away if I can, or certainly within the first day. Leave in the comment. I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said video ads was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.